when the camera gets turned on. Was there a lot of that, David, and was Barry holding back every time he saw a camera come on?
Absolutely not. I really think Barry's been misinterpreted here. And the reason why I say that, when you listen to the audio that you just played there, and Barry said, listen, this is the 14th time we've been through this. That's why he's getting direct. That's why he's getting aggressive. Because he's trying to cut out what I referred to earlier on in terms of people planting a seed of saying something that perhaps we should look at it another way after a decision has already been made.
So that's David Cashman playing games?
In that incident there, yeah, it was.
So what Cashman is doing is...
You got one. Well done.
Yeah, we got a name. Gradually we'll work our way back.
But if Barry's communication skills were better, he wouldn't have had to say it 14 times.
Yes.
You know,
No, but
he's got a problem with his communication skills.
You're saying he's doing it deliberately. Cashman is doing it deliberately
Absolutely.
to undermine the process.
Yes. Not to undermine the process, but to make sure he has a get out of jail free card.
So that when they both end up in front of the boardroom, he can say, well,
I objected,
said.
Barry didn't listen. And that's why every time Barry tries to shut it down and it comes back up, it's just part of the same game. Barry just wants to win the task and move on. And the only way was to cut off people and make sure that we tried to do our best and at least deliver something, rather than sitting in a talk shop all day.
Well, it makes it sound like David Cashman is one that we have to watch.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's been under the radar.
Is there anybody else out there like, we should
Well,
be looking at?
on that subject, apart from the ones that we have to watch for their tactics, of the three that went into the boardroom, if you were in Bill's shoes, who would you have fired in?
Well, I think Jamie is very, very promising. I think that he could go on to win it. I think he's good, and I don't think he's kind of, he's shown his full
even after his flip-flop on David and being his
friend.
friend.
Yeah, no, I just think that there's something in there, and so I probably would have been Will, who seems like a nice enough guy. And to be fair to him, when you were outside, he was saying, well, whatever happens, we'll still be friends or whatever. So I don't know whether he believed that, but he did say it. But he probably would have been the one that, if I had been Bill.
On what grounds?
Just on the grounds that I don't think he made as much of an input into the whole process as the other two guys.
Fiona?
I'd say Will didn't contribute very much either to the task, and he wasn't fantastic when they were going through the script initially at the beginning of the programme. I think he was very complimentary about your PM skills when he was in the boardroom initially, but then I think he turned on you slightly then in the boardroom. So that's I think Will.
You're going to make it unanimous?
I am. I'm going to say Will as well. But like sitting here and listening to you, David, I'd probably change my mind now, because I think that you were in a competition and you should be fighting hard, and you're too nice to everybody.
Yeah. You're very nice.
Can't be
Surely
nice
it's
in an environment.
It's positive to be a nice
guy.
guy.
Well, it's very positive, because I'm a nice guy, but it's
but
at the same time,
word again, Kevin, the soft word.
But Will was insipid though, so I probably would have gone for Will.
Well, in that case, that gives Will the title of the one that got away.
I originally came up with the idea along with Panis. The boyfriend basically says, hello Kim, basically, are you out? Sorry,
just say it as you're going to be saying it.
Are you out of work yet? When we were trying to pitch our ad to them, they weren't really impressed by it. They felt that there wasn't as much humour in it.
Sure, have you been hired as a chef?
No, I strongly disagree with that, and that's why ultimately we stuck with the pitch that we have. It does come across as a humorous ad, so I'm glad we stuck to it.
Elevate. They found your ad uninspiring. Why have you brought Will back into the boardroom?
I felt he contributed the least on the marketing side of things.
I came up with the concept of the creative side of things, right?
They want to just put slated.
Sorry, well, where was the ideas?
They want to just got slated.
Well, I don't think it got slated, to be honest with you. It wasn't as catchy as the girls' ones.
Talking, and waving your hands doesn't impress me. Results impress me, and you got none out of this. So be very careful going forward.
Poor Will, it looks like the stress could soon start to show on that young man's face. Well, the boardroom isn't a democracy, the right venue is. So we're going to throw it open to the audience and make them earn their keep. We want to know if you agree with Bill and you think that David should have been given the bullet, then hold up your red card. If you disagree and think that you would have kept him, hold up your green cards. Let's see the cards till we get a vote. Oh, that's a strong majority for a hired. I'm calling that. Yeah. There you go, David. Yeah. Audience is with you. Guys, how is it that the audience, when democracy is applied, are so pro-David? Did Bill just get it wrong?
I think, yeah, the ask was very big. I mean, as you said earlier on, he wants you to invent new food. You know, the whole thing about, I've been in a lot of radio studios where you're making an ad, and sometimes the guys come in and they're handwritten scripts. Sometimes they come in and you do go 45 seconds over, and then you pare it down. It's exactly the way you did it. So, I mean, I think you did quite a good job. I'm not the food expert, but I don't know. The food looked okay to me. If a little flaccid.
Yeah, I think he could have been a little bit more creative with the food. I mean, I think the brief wasn't absorbed correctly, but you know, obviously you're not going to recreate a new protein because if you were,
meat, a turducken. Having a response like that, David, does that feel good?
Yeah, it's nice to see people who've watched the episode can see my side of it too.
Well, before we wrap up, I have one little gem that I want to show you from tonight's show. Just in case you missed it. In theory, it could be Quote of the Week, but it's probably actually better titled Stating the Bleeding Obvious, Barry.
We've girls living in the house, and we ask kind of those, the girls what they like, and obviously Ciara is a woman and it's her target market.
See, Fiona, you asked about market research, there it is. Ciara's a woman and we asked her. David, now that the experience is over, if you had the choice, would you do it again?
I probably wouldn't.
Why?
There's a lot of part of the environment that you don't really absorb from the outside. You don't realise what's going on in the house, and having a camera sitting over your shoulder where you're told, okay, you have a couple of hours to come up with an ad and get it in the can this evening. There's a lot of pieces that you don't see from the outside.
But do you regret doing it or just wouldn't do it again?
No, I don't regret doing it. Put me back in the same position again, give me the same opportunity to come on it, I would take it. But looking back, I wouldn't do it again.
Well, as we draw your time on The Apprentice to a close, we have put together a montage of your best bits. So these are your highlights.
I do have international experience, and I was educated in Trinity. Obviously, after the years I spent in New York, it's funny to be back in Ireland. I do like Elevate, but I think the animal route is probably more interesting.
Which bright spark thought it was a good idea to visit my garage?
If we fit in Airside Ford and Airside Renault before we have to be back in Europa...
We can't fit in Airside Renault. We can't go there.
What? Why not? I would definitely do it.
Did you see my name, 12 feet long, on the garage?
So I totally forgot the question when you were doing that. Was it intimidate? Okay. Yeah, it works all right. It works.
Because we're a generous lot on The Apprentice Required, we wanted to give you something to remember the experience by. And we were very conscious that you had taken a huge amount of stick for the ad not being funny enough, and you got some more of that stick this evening for the lack of humour in the ad. So we decided we would equip you so that you would never again be in that position. Weddings, bar mitzvahs, communions, best man speeches. It's your go-to book.
That's
if
fantastic.
ever you have to script an ad again.
That's
Ladies
really
and gentlemen,
thanks.
David O'Byrne. David, thank you very much. So my thanks to David, and my thanks as well to Ian Dempsey, to Kevin Dundon, and to Fiona Gratzer from Unislip. And next week looks a little bit like this.
This week, I want to see, have you learned from your mistakes?
That's the only circus in Dublin, and they don't have camels.
In that case, then you are dead.
Could we see maybe your abs?
Okay, thank you very much.
It wasn't just rude, it was disrespectful. It was abuse. You are fired.
And if you want to watch us carve up the juicy bits, you can get The Apprentice at 9 o'clock on TV3, and then join us at 10:15. Until then, bye-bye.
We go from the boardroom to the bedroom in The Apprentice at Home. That's over on 3E next, or you can catch it later here on 3 after Vincent Brown.
Myself, probably for the first time in my entire life. I really have, and I'm in this, and this is everything I've wanted.